Honestly, if this part keeps up on the track that it's going on, this could easily be my favorite JoJo part in terms of anime. This has been so fun these past couple of episodes, and the opening was everything I was hoping it'd be. When I heard that the creators, the two minds behind the Eva opening, were reuniting after all these years for another song, I was just so excited that it would be a JoJo opening, because JoJo openings have always been great, and when I heard this episode kick off with that brilliant OP, it reminded me of the first time I heard JoJo Part 1's opening, because I'd never heard a JoJo opening at that moment, and it was so different from every other opening that I was hearing when I first watched JoJo. And I actually think this might be my favorite opening that the JoJo anime has ever seen. Visually, it was awesome, but that song, it just reminded me of how I first felt when I first discovered JoJo. It was such a powerful feeling, and I love that opening. Definitely will not be skipping it. I think it'll be hard to top once they do get into their second and third opening songs. This was absolutely fire. But this episode, I really like how it kicks off in showing us Giorno's backstory and ultimately where his past kind of led him, and just seeing the very shitty lifestyle that he had to grow up in. You know, a mother who clearly shouldn't be a mother, leaving her 1 or 2 year old alone as she goes out partying like, oh, who cares what the kids are doing? Like, that's pretty messed up. And then you see, oh, hey, we got the nice father figure. It's like, everything's gonna be fine. Oh no, he's an abusive asshole. Like, I like that because when you look at episode 1, you don't look at that guy and say, he had an abusive family. You look at him being like, he must have had a pretty good life back in the day, because maybe he is technically a criminal, but he still seems like a pretty nice individual. But seeing his idea and his kind of lust for the gangster lifestyle, I actually really like that, because you know, someone like him being picked on all his life, it's not the most original thing, but how they execute it, it makes it pretty damn unique. The idea of this gangster who was getting shot up and stabbed easily could have been found, but Giorno said, hey, he actually is down this way, not in the grass over there. And because his stand lets him kind of sense things, he was able to save this guy's life, but he wanted nothing out of it. But because this guy repays his debts, everything after that changed. His father stops beating him, the kids stop picking on him, and everything about his life changed. And I like seeing that before we get back into what happened in the first episode, because showing us his idea of how he looks at people, how he was able to read people, understanding like who's good, who's bad, who deserves to be saved over his past, and how he kind of wanted to be like the man who kind of looked out for him and never asked for anything in return because he was just repaying his debt. I thought it was a nice opener to get us back into that fight. So when we did see the fight between Bruno and Giorno, like, that was amazing. Like, JoJo fights have always been interesting at the very least, but I actually think this one was incredibly well choreographed and scripted, because you have a guy who can essentially attach zippers and open anything up, and it's absolutely ridiculous when you think of it. Also, having Giorno's power, because he's never used it on a person, and when you see him actually hit him, and then everything around him changes, his senses go berserk and time pretty much slows and he can't react. I thought that's interesting. Like, this is a stand who you would think isn't going to be that useful in battle, and obviously it has its weaknesses for sure. It has a short range, but the idea of giving life to essentially anything, but also if you touch life with this power, it can basically give you this berserk mindset that you can't really react and you could get your ass kicked. That would be interesting, and you could definitely see how he could be a mob boss. Like, that was just such an engaging fight with how they were detailing it, how Bruno was like switching arms around, like, so when he did get hit, it would be for the other guy, and just, I think this is where the first half of the episode plays a factor, because we understand that our main character, he's good at reading people, so we get that backstory. I think it was important to start off the episode in that way, so when we get to the fight, and when he decides not to land the finishing blow and just walk away, he says, like, I can tell you're a good person, because he was reading the situation, reading that he was caring about what was happening to the person whose body parts he borrowed. Like, just setting this up as being like, I'm going to be head boss, I'm going to join your organization, I'm going to work my way to the top. That is the most interesting JoJo premise that I think we've had in the anime form to date. I like all the JoJo parts, but this has everything going for it for me. The story hook of a man who was saved by a mob boss, someone in the gang, and he wants to be like him but work his way up and kind of be head bitch in charge, while having this ridiculous cast of characters with overpowered abilities, and obviously it's going to get more overpowered. I've had people say that, but I mean, if you're starting off an ability where you can like unzip people's body parts and kind of wear them like a skin suit, or you have an ability that can give life to essentially anything, of course things are just going to get more overpowered and ridiculous as this part goes on, which I'm excited for, because JoJo is known for its absurdity and it works with it quite well. But the story hook is interesting, the characters are goddamn fun, easily my favorite JoJo lead character, at least for the intro stages. Obviously I don't know how far his character will go, but in terms of what I saw with the first couple of episodes of each JoJo part, this has my favorite hook right now. I'm loving Giorno as a character, he's interesting, character design's on point, stand is on point, personality is someone you want to root for, but also you kind of get a little scared of if you get on his bad side. Bruno is an amazing side character right now. I can't wait to learn more about him. But just the visuals, the music, like this is everything I love about JoJo all wrapped into one beautiful product. And if it keeps on the path that it's in, this is going to be one of the best anime in the next 3 seasons. This is absolutely incredible. It's exciting. It's thrilling. The action is really interesting. I'm excited to see how other stands and how other overpowered abilities are going to translate in battle and just how this gang story is going to relate. Obviously, I expect many episodic stories. JoJo is known for that. But the overall arcing path that we have with our character trying to be the head boss, like that is interesting. I'm very excited that it isn't more of a save the world kind of a deal. I like those stories, but the idea of a more personal story and a more kind of questionable personal story is something I'm really excited for. Let me know whatever you thought of episode 2 of JoJo down in that comment section below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Your favorite moment? Whatever you're feeling, let me know. And be sure to like the video if you did enjoy, and also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future. But until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.